What is up, guys? Vinaldo here. So it is Monday, really hot day today. Crypto markets, altcoins are all pretty much hitting huge areas. You got your Cardano at 50 cents, and I think a lot of this, Bitcoin looks like it may want to come down lower. I mean, it's a little conflicting. I know somebody was telling me that. Look, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I mean, Bitcoin does kind of look like it wants to come down farther. But if you could hold kind of the recovery where we are right now, if you could hold kind of the recovery, the area we are right now, then, I don't know, 101, 102, then you got potential for kind of a small summer lull. You would think it would be your summer low would be a deeper correction. And what was it, 11% only? You know what I mean? Pretty remarkable how well Bitcoin's held up all this, and all it's just, keep leading against it. But, when you look at alts, they're kind of hitting that area. There's some rumors of a potential cut in July. I'm more of a numbers statistics guy. I could be wrong. It's not betting odds are not always right, but it's still likely that you won't see that cut until September. At this point, if you think alts bottom out against Bitcoin on the cut, and then you have your altcoin season in Q4, which is what I kind of think would probably happen, similar to kind of end of 2017, then at this point, I don't think selling or converting alts to Bitcoin really makes sense. I think it's a little bit, you're a little late for that, So that's what I would kind of, say there and kind of think about there. If you think, there's some potential, it's all about, hedging your bets. It's all about hedging your bets. And it's, if you think Chainlink's going to bounce right here, you see enough good things, then I got a new trade in for ETH that I kind of like right now. Nothing crazy, but, and shout out to CryptoFace. Well, you guys know CryptoFace, obviously, but he was talking about the same thing I'm talking about, potentially jumping up right now. I kind of got part of the idea from him, not entirely, but, but yeah, shooting up in the short term. Everybody was crazy on Twitter. Yeah, that's the thing too. If you want to get more into the long term, the words kind of become flesh eventually, unfortunately, in this case, where everybody goes crazy, saying World War III over, the odds of World War III actually happening just because of this little Iran bombing are probably 2% or 3%. I think the odds were on Polymarket of actual declaring war, 2%, 3%, ever is. Just goes crazy on Twitter. But don't worry, when you look at 100-year theory, when you look at what's happened before, there probably, unfortunately, will be another world war, probably mostly drone warfare, and probably as these tensions continue to escalate. When did World War II start? It was I sound dumb, probably early 1930s, right? Mid 1930s. It'll probably be in the 2030s. You'll probably get your bad decade in the 2030s, just like the 1930s. Where it could be different, but just like that. And then you're kind of view the things, people talking about it. It'll eventually happen, but you're not there yet. I think you need bad economics. You need worse economics. You need major disruption, I think, and you're not seeing that yet. You probably won't see that for another 4 or 5 years at least. Well, it could be sooner. You're seeing the preliminary Tesla robo-taxi, but by the time that actually gets enough to take away gig economy jobs and all that, that's going to be a couple of years at least. So you got a few years in that disruption, and kind of the cycle keeps going. You would probably see more, compare it to the British Empire, more of the fall of the British Empire, a lot during and after World War II, part of it from fighting communism, part of it from other things, internal conflicts and whatnot. You'll probably see the same thing happen in the United States. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't want these things to generally happen, but I'm just looking at through history what normally happens with world powers, with empires, with all these type of things. You'll probably have more internal conflicts. Individual states will probably gain more rights, and it'll probably look more like something how the European Union looks in the 2060s, 2070s, 2050s even. Kind of there. So it's years away. It's years away. If you're in your 20s or 30s right now, you'll definitely live to see it, most likely. But, if you're, unfortunately, statistically, it depends, but, somebody in their 70s, 80s, will they live that 30, 40 years to see that? Maybe not, or 25 years of that. Maybe some of them will, but, so you kind of look at there, and that's kind of what happens there. And you look at through these type of things. I had a pretty long Twitter post about this a while back. Some people kind of brushed it off, but, like they say, what is it? All predictions are wrong. Some are less wrong than others. I think it was all models are wrong. Some are useful or something. I forgot who said that, but something like that. But, you know, you look at these type of things. But ultimately, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you see so many people who, you know, inherited a lot of money, won lottery, they find a way to lose it, you know, tons of money, doesn't seem possible to lose it, they find a way to lose it. At the end of the day, you can't look too far into these things. It's all mindset. You know, it's all about that positivity and, you know, avoiding that stress, you know, focusing on the breath. You know, sometimes you really got to take 5 or take 30 minutes and just sit there and observe kind of what's around you, you know, meditation, all these things, because it can get crazy. You know, it can overwhelm you. You know, you got a lot of things, you know, and it can get overwhelming. I'll tell you that much. It definitely can get overwhelming, all the things you're doing. So, you know, the thing too is you got to take action. Doing something is better than doing nothing generally. So, you know, you just got to keep trying and do what you can and follow, you know, kind of follow your strategies and follow all these things and keep that, you know, positive mindset and, you know, kind of craft your own reality. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes you look at what's happened and you're just like, man, I had some terrible luck. And you just look at the possibilities of like how bad the luck you had happened. And it's like less than a 5% chance or 1% chance. Like, it's so unlikely what happened to you. And conversely, or yeah, vice versa, you know, you look at sometimes something so amazing happened and it's like the 3% chance of that happening, and it did happen, and it's really good. So, you know, sometimes I just think it's like, you know, that's our mindset, our law of attraction, you know, the programming we have, you know, in terms of chance happening to us and the things that, you know, kind of happen. Sounds crazy sometimes, you know, you can't exactly prove it. Maybe quantum physics has some, you know, they're coming out with that as some kind of substantial explanations of this. But other than that, not too much. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon. Goodbye.